check this out. Fact, of the 400,000 non-homicide violent black-white crimes, 85% are black perp, 15% the other way around. Fact, blacks kill more blacks, nearly 7,000 last year, than the KKK did in its entire history. Fact, a young black man is 7 or more times more likely to be murdered than a young white man, and again, almost always by a young black man. Fact, blacks kill 2 times as many whites, 500, as whites kill blacks, 250. Fact, blacks, 13% of the population, commit 50% of the murders. Fact, of the 50% of the homicides in this country that are committed by blacks, they are almost always committed by other blacks, usually young black men. This means roughly 3% of the population is responsible for nearly half of the nation's homicides. Fact, the #1 cause of preventable deaths in this country for young white men is accidents, like car accidents. The #1 cause of preventable deaths in this country for young black men, homicide. Fact, Chicago, murder capital of the country in terms of absolute numbers. The city is a third black, a third white, a third Hispanic. Blacks account for 70% of the homicides, and by the way, nearly 75% of them are unsolved. Now, these awful crime stats stem from one primary reason: the absence of fathers in the home. Forget about Larry Elder. Barack Obama once said, a kid raised without a father is 5 times more likely to be poor, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in jail. This is the #1 problem facing the country, not white racists hunting down black joggers, for crying out loud. Studies showing that cops are more hesitant, more reluctant to pull the trigger on a black suspect than a white suspect. The youngest tenured professor in the history of Harvard is an economics professor named Roland Fryer, happened to be black. He assumed that the cops were in fact using deadly force disproportionately on blacks and decided to do a study on it. He said the results were the most surprising of his career. Not only did he not find the cops more likely to use deadly force against black suspects, he found the cops more hesitant, more reluctant to use deadly force against black suspects. The problem is not racist cops. Lord knows there are racist cops, there are racist doctors, there are racist video show producers. But the problem in the black community is black on black crime. And the left doesn't want to talk about it.
The nation spends $1 trillion a year on inner city communities and trying to uplift people from poverty. That has not worked. What has worked is proactive policing, and the police are not racist. There have been some horrible individual instances in this last year, but that is a drop in the bucket compared to the daily violence that is taking black lives.
Just days ago, Flint, Michigan, in a dollar store, black security guard asked a woman to put on a mask. She refuses. He asks her to leave. She leaves. Back comes her husband and her sons, shoots this man, back of the head. The man is a father of 9, black, by the way. The other suspects involved in the case, black. Where is Joe Biden? Where was LeBron James's tweet?
Flint police and the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office say Friday afternoon, 45-year-old Charmel Teague came into the store, Munnerlyn ordering her to put a mask on. Police say Teague began yelling and spitting on him. Munnerlyn telling the cashier not to serve her. Teague leaving but calling her husband, 44-year-old Larry Teague Jr.
The video shows the same vehicle returning approximately 20 minutes later.
Witnesses tell police and surveillance video shows Charmel's husband and 23-year-old son, Raymond Bishop, then ran into the store wearing dark clothing.
One of the black males started yelling at Munnerlyn about disrespecting his wife. The other black male then walks up to Munnerlyn and shoots Munnerlyn.
Munnerlyn shot in the back of the head, later dying. His family says the lovable father of 6 children and 3 stepchildren cared for his family more than anything.
Now I'd like to say something to Mr. LeBron James. He has, of course, been an incredible basketball player. He's given a great deal of time, energy, and money to the community. He started a school in Akron. He has a whole lot he can be proud of aside from his career on the court. He also married the mother of his children, something that often does not happen, unfortunately, in the inner city. Remember this cover story of Sports Illustrated? It was about the fact that a large number of people in the NBA have kids outside of wedlock. They quote one person as saying, for every player who doesn't have any, there's another player with two. It is the number one problem facing the black community. The number one problem facing the black community is not fear that some racist redneck is going to track you down with a shotgun when you leave your home. The number one problem facing the black community is the absence of fathers. And on that score, LeBron James has been a superb role model. I just wish he would preach that message instead of telling black people that they're victims.